Yeah, Rachel, you just press it. I think that's simple. You know. I was telling them to.
Yes.
Check.
Good evening. My name is Mary Maslowski. I'm the chairperson of the Harwich Historic District and Historical Commission. Calling to order the meeting of Wednesday, January 18th, 2023. At 6 p.m., we are holding this meeting at Town Hall at 732 Main Street in Harwich Center. And we are located in the small hearing notice. I'd like to open with a recording notice. According to Mass law, anyone who intends to record this meeting, either by audio or videotape, is required to let the chair know at this time. So hearing none, we will proceed with a roll call for the meeting, please.
Bob Dome.
Brendan Lowney.
Lynn Zalisak.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Rachel Lord, the secretary.
Rachel has newly joined us. This is her first meeting in attendance, so thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
We are going to open the first public hearing. It is HH 2023-01. John Baroni and Karen Gagne, owner, through their agent Coastline Construction, has filed a notice of intent. The project proposes partial demolition to demo the existing structure, leaving the foundation and construct a new dwelling in the same footprint of the original foundation. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessing and state records and is located at 14 Atlantic Street, map 6B, parcel L140. Good evening. If you could introduce yourself, and we would ask that you sign the sign-in sheet, please, so that we know you're in attendance.
Sure. Good evening. My name is Jamie Norcross, representing John Barone and Karen Gagne.
My name is Jack Wishart with Coastline Construction.
Welcome. Would you like to start off with going through your application, please?
Sure. I think Jack's going to lead us through. He has a presentation of the application.
Yeah,
Great.
it would be my pleasure. Just wanted to thank you all very much for your time this evening. The new owners at 14 Atlantic, John and Karen, looking forward to joining the neighborhood. They've asked us to update the cottage for year-round living and enjoy, so that they may enjoy permanent residence. The site dates back to circa 1910, and our record card lists the structure as built in 1950, which feels consistent with the existing framing and finishes inside the house. Cottage is a gable front gambrel with a front porch has been modified over the year with new rooms and roof lines. Unfortunately, the finished space of the existing cottage is a bit limited, and John and Karen asked for a redesign so that they could more comfortably accommodate their needs with the space. We did look at some alternatives. First, should we just do an addition? You see with the site plan, it is a small lot. So adding on really just wasn't an option. Second, could we keep what was there and work with the existing? To create adequate usable space, we would be ripping into all the framework. Structural changes at the foundation, first floor walls, second floor walls, roof lines at both the first and the second floors. The condition of the interior and exterior finishes are failing. We would be replacing all of them. Because replacing the finishes, repairing the framing, and upgrading to meet compliance with code is not cost effective, and it would not improve the limited square footage issue, we are led toward a redesign and a rebuild of the space. In focus of the redesign, we wanted to obviously maintain the integrity and character of the original cottage and blend well with the fabric of the existing neighborhood. In retaining the architectural style, we kept the gable front gambrel roof lines as well as the front-facing porch. We've selected building materials to match the local aesthetic: red cedar roofing, white cedar siding, white painted exterior trim, copper gutters and downspouts, and appropriate doors and windows and grille light configurations to blend. Again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your review of our project, and I'd like to ask if there are any questions on the elevations, anything we can address from a design standpoint, et cetera, and just to get your feedback and assistance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who would like to go first?
I have a quick question about height. Existing height, new height?
Yes.
I know these aren't full-scale plans yet, but
Just under, it's 26 and a little bit.
that's the new height?
Correct.
Okay.
The existing,
20.1. So it is getting a couple of feet taller.
Okay.
Yep.
Bob, would you like to start?
Yeah, of course, this is a sensitive area, being the campgrounds. And so we do scrutinize this. Unfortunately, the building you want to demolish is very iconic, kind of a little unusual with this smaller rooftop and everything. However, I do appreciate on your new one is the style, to kind of keep it somewhat in the neighborhood. The scale obviously is going to be a lot bigger to it. I do appreciate some of the architectural features, whether it's the eyebrow window, not typically seen in the campgrounds, but very much that period. To do that, I almost wish that even though it's going to be quite a bit taller, it could go even a little taller to have more of the gambrel to be a little more focused, but I'm not married to that or anything. But I have pros and cons with this. I think I'd like to hear what everybody else has to say.
Yeah, I concur with what Bob just said. I mean, the main thing that sticks out for me is, the 4-pitch on the top roof there. So that would be, we often fought on other projects, other properties, about mimicking that roof line that exists to get that closer to it. So to Bob's point, I know you're at 26, that's why I asked that question.
Yeah, there is room to steepen that up to make it a little bit closer to accommodate,
Right.
A sharper aesthetic there.
Right.
I'd be certainly willing to amend if that's, something that we want to see. I was trying to keep it, not maxing out the heights to be, mindful of the other residents in the neighborhood and
Right.
others going to policy for just because.
Right. What's the width of the building? I got here,
32.
yeah, give me the,
Well, Jack's looking for that. I guess
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how
It's
you
just
can even
under-
accomplish that aesthetically, that's all. It may not
Just under
work.
20 feet.
Yeah, okay.
it's essentially going to stay within the footprint of the
Right.
existing.
Yeah.
It's just going to get, the back section's going to get squared off.
Filled out.
Right.
And then just note that, because if you look at, from going out to the property and today, sort of the mean lines for the house in back are right over the existing driveway, which isn't going to be impacted by
Right.
going through.
The neighbors will like that. Any other questions?
For right now.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, have you done any kind of a search on the history of the house?
We have, in terms of we pulled Jack and I pulled the records for the Form A that was filed initially when the whole district was registered with the state. I don't think we have anything specific in terms of the house itself, other than what's noted in that documentation that was done by the consultant for the state. Again, the 1910s was listed in that document. The assessors have a 1950 date, which I assume must relate to some sort of addition that was done at the property. I think if you look at it, the left-hand side looks like it's probably the original section, and there's a bump out to the right, because it's not quite square in terms of the second floor as it currently sits on the property. And so we're assuming, again, the records don't go back that far for the town that we were able to find for 1950.
So didn't go to Barnstable County Registry of Deeds and bother to check to see who might have owned it in the past? 'Cause I'm just wondering, that was
Yeah.
an area where you had some famous people come and settle in the summertime.
Oh, okay. No, we didn't.
Area?
Yeah, that was one of the areas on the Cape.
No, we didn't do a title search of the name, so I don't have that
I read all about the, the spiritualist campground and the document that was listed there with the state.
I think he's right. I
As you
think it's
indicated,
that
no, I did
addition.
not go to the registry.
I think it was a
to see
rebuild. I don't
what
think it was
the-
original. Because most of that was there in the early.
I like their idea of getting back to nature to heal yourselves. I think that's what everybody does when they come
Yeah.
to Cape Cod, right?
True.
It certainly made a lot of sense.
Bob? Do you think that's the original chimney on it though?
What's that?
The chimney on it, you think that's original?
Probably.
It's not on it, you're getting rid of the fireplace or chimney?
That's correct. We would demo it. They did put a cap on there and keep the cap, but it wasn't scheduled to have a working fireplace. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle of the house, so it's such a small footprint, and we're keeping the existing foundation. So designing around that, wanting the new open floor plans like is so common now. But if you wanted to see a chimney on top, you could, put it on the top, it would just be taller. I don't know how the clients would.
Just a question for me. I can't tell. What is the existing foundation?
It's concrete, so they
It is.
suspended, they suspended the whole house and the porch.
And then poured.
Under the entire thing. So the basement foundation actually goes all the way out to the front of the porch.
So that's probably the 1950s, I would, if not later.
And
Doesn't
probably
look
the
original.
addition. Yeah. Yeah.
Unusual for us to see that on a 100-year-old house, which is why, which is why I ask.
Our structural engineer had that foundation in 2008.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Have you put thoughts into materials and colors or
Oh, yeah.
any of those?
Red cedar roof, white cedar,
Yeah.
white,
Okay,
white trim, under
okay.
I think Jack included a schedule in there.
Is it at the end?
Yeah.
Last page.
Yeah, there it is. I thought I had seen something.
There you go, look, I didn't know it wasn't actually requested, but I'm happy to put it all.
No, we always appreciate that, particularly when it's a rebuild.
We do recognize how sensitive it is and how important, the neighborhood is and keeping the integrity of the field.
So any other questions from the board? Comments from the board before we open it up to the public? You good?
Yeah.
Anybody from the public here wishing to speak?
Yeah, I think I just have a couple of comments.
Sure. Please, could you state your name for the
Sure.
record?
My name is Dan Griffin, and we're the abutter that's directly behind
Mhm.
the house. So they did send out a letter, and as I haven't met the new neighbor, but as a, welcome to the neighborhood, he did send us a rendition, and, I will, state that I think that he did try his best to keep to the original look of the house and the size of the house. It's really important to us from a standpoint, maybe a little prejudiciously, but that we have the view that their house is right in front. So even like when the comments that you made earlier, I'm in the trades and I understand the roof lines and, symmetry and stuff like that, but actually from our standpoint, getting higher wouldn't actually probably be a benefit because it's gonna, it's been blocking views, and there's been some other building that's been a little overbuilt in our opinion on the left side. And, it's just, so we kind of, for a standpoint of a comment, would probably like to see it more, as is or more scaled down. I did have a couple of, I know these weren't, these are the first renditions, but just in looking at them, questions on. One, I noticed on the elevations, if you look at it, it kind of shows a soffit around the outside of the house. And yet if you look at the views from our side, it doesn't depict that soffit. It doesn't seem like it's drawn right. I wanted to see if the builder could you know, I know you don't have the cut, but you don't, you just an 8-inch soffit, because you got a wing there or dealing up, and if it, and also, you, a little bit on the foundation, because you are keeping to the footprint, but you're squaring the house off in the back corner, which was a deck.
Yes, sir.
And you said there's already a foundation. I'm curious on what you're doing with that foundation, and because it's, the lot lines where it's so tight, they're actually like 8 inches from our property line in the back. I'm not saying that I have a problem with it, but you gotta excavate, you gotta pull walls, you know, a
So
little bit.
yeah, no, I certainly appreciate all those comments, thank you very much.
Right.
So because of the proximity to the line back there, in order to square off the building, we're gonna actually put it on tubes and grade beams, as opposed to having to excavate down.
So that part won't be a finished cellar underneath that?
That's correct.
So that'll be raised, it'll be up on pylons or footings, and then you'll just structurally tie it in. It comes to within like less than a foot of the property line, so.
That's right.
So that soffit actually could have, you know, that's why I wanted to look at that too. It could essentially be coming off over into our property, hopefully not. But more than that, you know, selfishly is more, the backside, I think, we're not trying to raise a problem with what they did with the design and think how they, you know, they did the windows. There's some little buffer with some trees. To the right of you where your septic is would be the area that is his biggest concern, especially when we bought our home, and that's our view, you know, right in front. And we knew that there was a septic on each of the two houses, and the next house just got sold also on the right side of it. And they just built one on the left side, so we've got a lot going on there. And I'm not trying to be an unaccommodating neighbor, but, you know, there's some, when you look at it, you just want to, you know, have some, and I haven't had an opportunity to talk to the owner, so because on that roof line on the sides, how far out is that soffit off the house?
B6.
6 inches? Only 6 inches? Yeah. Because you can return that at 6 inches, so it's not really, it's, so it's just gonna be a typical small soffit. Detailed as it looks.
Break up the
And it's
wall.
gonna be 6 inches all the way around, because to me, when I looked at the porch, it doesn't look like that.
I think he's referencing the first floor wraparound now,
First floor wrap
not so
around,
much, not
because
the second.
It looks like your pillars in your front porch line up with the outside edge
Yeah.
of
How this
the,
wraps.
of the house.
This
and
is
yet
6
it doesn't
inches.
show on
It's just like this.
elevation from the side, you've got 6 inches sticking up.
Yeah, the structural break will be a little bit different.
So it's not gonna be like a, it's not gonna be something over the side door.
Oh,
No, definitely not. No.
gosh, no.
It's just gonna be
Like a little flare.
to make it look, you know, a little, you know, match this style. Okay, I mean, I can, it's just pictorial.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
not a problem.
Not a huge over, I mean, you're gonna have that entire, because that's that parking area.
Right.
So there's not gonna be anything that
Right,
way, all the way
right.
to your
In fact,
house.
there's a deck they're gonna remove, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the septic is gonna stay, because that's not what you
So,
put it on.
and then the rest of so they'll raise the house and the rest of the foundation will stay as is. They'll just infill in the back corner to square it off, and that's the intent.
Correct, yeah,
Correct.
so really, I don't know if you ever got these photos. But
Uh,
from kind of like your driveway, as it were,
Yeah,
you should be pretty similar, except it's gonna come over just a little bit more to the left.
yeah, I can tell where the
You know what I
outside of
mean?
the house is.
So that great view that you currently have is clearly the driveway, is not changing at all.
This is my wife's
We
name.
know
Okay.
So.
So I'm just gonna ask, your view is to which side of the,
There's
if I'm standing
Like this
at
middle
Nantucket Sound,
a picture there, and you can see.
Directly
our-
behind.
you are the one that would look over the driveway.
Yes.
You look through the driveway.
Look directly at.
Okay.
And then the water's in front of it.
So most of their building is actually going to the right-hand side of the building as opposed to,
No, not really, because it's gonna go up higher.
it's gonna go
And
up,
it's gonna get
but the width is going to go not to the driveway side, which is
The width
primarily,
is gonna stay the width all the way, it's just going up.
but I'm saying the height on the second floor, the width of the second floor is going to be wider, correct?
Wider, yeah,
the
on,
other side.
Right,
on the street side.
correct. So, but that is really to the other, your view is, if I'm staring at the front door, Your view is more to the left than it is to the
We
right?
actually have both sides.
Okay,
The money shot is to the right.
okay,
Directly behind us.
Yeah, we're directly behind. We're the
okay.
That's,
So, I think at this time, that it was just more, to clarify some of that.
And we could tell you tried. I mean, we had a lot of questions about the selfishly, but it's difficult, and would it be great if we could keep it the same, but it's time.
And ma'am, your name for the record, just so that we have it.
Susie Anderson. So.
Thank you.
You could tell they did try. One night.
It is,
Stuff.
it is a neighborhood that has had a lot of building in the last year, and it continues, last few years, and continues to have a lot of building. Yes, Bob?
yeah, just a question. Are you actually raising the foundation at all?
Yes,
Ah, so why are you needing to do that?
to get sufficient head space in the basement to utilize it as finished space. Otherwise,
Because, I
it's
mean,
too
that's
short.
aggravating the situation. How much is it being raised by?
About 4 inches, 4.5 inches.
Just a concrete block eating it all the way around. My name's Joe Young.
It is steps right now at the porch.
Okay. Are the heights of each level need to be that high? Is that the minimum, or,
What are the heights?
yeah, it doesn't really show.
9-foot ceiling.
Is that-
So you're trying to at least get 7.2 in the basement, is that the goal, or is?
Correct.
Yeah.
To 1 bedroom in the basement and 2
Is the second floor 9 foot also?
That's correct. Nobody wants small anymore.
And then where's the egress window going to be for the bedroom in the basement? Is that on here as well, or?
That's on the structural plan,
Okay, the structural plan.
but it would come out on the driveway side.
Driveway side, okay.
Sort of incorporating some living room into the basement is part of the goal, in terms of adding to the overall living area.
So
Because you
bedroom,
can't go out and you just try to find some space inside.
right.
Is, may I- is
Yes,
the
please, Bob.
second floor, is that going to be like cathedral ceiling?
Yes, sir.
And the cathedral, what's the highest point at the cathedral ceiling?
It's a little over 12. I'd have to pull it up and really scale it for you, sir.
I mean, it would seem to me you could make that lower. I mean, I don't know what the building code is.
Should be 30.
Well, with
when
it being
you-
with
You
the
mean for
red
the height?
cedar, we wouldn't like to
No,
go too
no.
low on the roof pit.
Oh, inside?
Yeah,
It's, I believe it's 7.2 for, all habitable rooms, excluding kitchen and bathrooms.
so it's 7.2, so this is exceeding the
Correct or not?
required
Correct or not,
code.
7.2? Thanks.
Interior height,
Exceeding minimum.
Yeah,
minimal 7.2.
Depending on which room.
yeah.
Basement. He's talking about the basement. Basement's minimal. It's gonna be under 8 feet in the basement. It's gonna be the finished head height.
Yeah.
A 9-foot second floor could be a little bit much lower.
Yeah,
You can go 9 and 8, right? Especially if it's vaulted.
yeah.
Because height is, it's not necessarily, it's starting to get dwarfed down there.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm just
Sir.
asking if
Yeah.
you could just let the board have our comments, and I'm happy to call on you
Sorry,
again.
yeah.
That's okay.
I'm good.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm all set. I had a question for
You can.
you. Sure?
Of course, you're
Um,
the board. You're
Can
entitled.
your view, sir, can you look over the house with your view?
We have a deck, yeah,
Okay.
probably, because, we have, ours is a raised ranch, so
Mhm.
the house is not higher than the house, but our deck off our kitchen is on the, used to be a garage, there's actually a picture, in the, one of the snapshots that kind of shows, our house.
Oh, yeah, in the top right corner.
So,
I guess I just wonder, I appreciate the view concern over the house, but given the distance between the houses, how much of a difference 3 or 4 inches really makes?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say it may not be a
I don't
a
see,
huge deal.
I understand trying to
Yeah.
minimize as much as you can, but I don't think in reality it would make much of a difference from a view perspective.
My only comment is the lower the height, the even less of a gambrel you're gonna end up
Correct.
having.
That's correct.
And it's already it's already giving away on some of the pitch. So,
No, I don't think it would change it.
of course it
The
would.
pitch.
It would
No,
have-
it would drop down, but it's not gonna change.
but
if
you're
you
not,
kept the same.
right, but you're not, if your goal was to get more of a
Well,
pitch, you're not
you're
gonna
right,
get,
that's not gonna
you're not gonna get more
help.
of a pitch.
No,
right,
you're not.
By
But it would
reducing
still
it.
drop it quite a bit.
It just, yeah. I mean, the architect will have to figure that out, but like aesthetically how it looks, it just be.
What is the height?
So the new is 26.5. It's going from 20, say 0.1 to 26.5.
And I think maximum is what, 20?
30.
I believe it's 30.
30.
30.
Yeah.
So you're still below maximum by,
Feet,
Not
3.5 feet.
right. Are there any more questions for the board or anything the board would like to see different than it is as of right now?
Oh, I'm still concerned about that second floor height of being that high.
So they're going up 6 feet.
Hmm?
They're going up 6 feet, and under
Right.
building code, they could go up.
I know. But, you know, one of the issues we have in that area is that we're trying to keep the mass of the
Yeah.
building somewhat reasonable, and that's
Yeah.
just adding,
Well,
you know,
with the-
another
yeah.
foot. It's adding a whole nother foot of
Correct.
mass.
Yeah, I agree. But they're gonna have restrictions because it's considered a new build.
Mhm.
You know, all the codes are gonna apply, so.
Your framing material's a lot better.
Yeah, so their rafters in the house right now are probably, you know, real 2x4s. You know,
Yeah.
so they're going to probably 2x10s, you know,
Oh,
to
yeah.
get the R rating for the insulation. So it's going to snowball into, you know.
But if you have a vaulted ceiling, that's gonna take, the headroom's gonna be extra.
No, I agree with you, Bob. I think we always fight for that roof line in the campgrounds, which is important. We've done it on numerous buildings. I mean, every building we do is different. We don't really have a real precedent, but when it comes to the campgrounds, that roof line is important, and so is the height. So I agree on both of those. I'm more about the roof line. You get the height, so that's where I'm at.
I mean, I guess if it's seen as too high, what would be an acceptable height?
Well, I would think you'd want to drop it a foot anyways. If you're at 9 feet and, you know, you could be down lower. Plus, you're really not, because when you're going up to the loft, it's real, you know, as you said, 12 feet, that's a pretty high ceiling for a room. I mean, you wouldn't aesthetically inside, you're not going to lose anything by dropping it another foot.
If that was the way the board felt in terms of needing to allow it, I think that would be something we could certainly talk to our client about. I would imagine that would be acceptable.
It wouldn't be difficult to amend.
Right.
He'll ask me, why can't we go 30 feet? Of course. Right? I'll say, well.
I mean, you would have to get, so the next door neighbor has that look. I don't know if their building is 20 feet. Problem is you lose the gambrel because you're stretching it out to 20, and that's
Right.
the issue. The architect's gonna be like, well, I need to go higher. So the building next door might be 18 feet wide, and maybe that's why that works. But,
Let's see.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
This
It
is,
is
this is the
slightly
whole,
more.
so, but when you come over to this house, their house,
Mhm.
it's not, they're coming way out to this corner.
Right.
That's why it looks odd.
Yeah.
It's because of the new addition on the
Yeah.
side versus
They make
the,
that cute.
right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who did something and came out, but I don't have that.
No.
in front of me.
We turned one around because the Gambrel was going in the opposite direction. It was going north-south instead of, I think, east-west, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
And we turn that down.
But I don't recall us having one.
It's one on Seabreeze, I just can't remember the exact address.
Instead of taking it off the roof line, why don't they just take like 6 inches off the height of the wall on
Well,
each floor, and that
Because
takes care of it?
that's what Brendan's comment is, the framing alone is going to add volume and scale to it.
yeah,
because
but
of
that's
the-
only on the interior,
It's on
not
the
the
interior.
exterior. You don't notice that on the exterior.
Right, but if they're going for square footage, I mean.
Well,
I
Are
would-
we your first stop?
Yes, well, other than Jacksonville Conservation, which is just
Yeah.
RDA.
Yeah, so you're doing RDA?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll filing for zoning tomorrow, so that'll be
Yeah.
in February.
So you're going to zoning board of appeals?
Yes,
Yeah.
So,
So you need a special permit,
yep,
non-conforming lot.
correct.
Yep.
so really and truly, any changes, if we make a final decision, any changes that ZBA requires would have to come back here.
Come back here. So you want to.
So, if we put any conditions on it, which I'm suspecting this board might be leaning towards.
Well,
Yeah.
one thought I had, I'm sorry to interrupt, was just
Yeah, no.
perhaps if that's, your inclination was you want to see it a little bit lower, if we could continue to your next meeting.
Yeah.
We can speak to our clients to figure
Absolutely.
out how we
Yeah.
can make that achievable, make sure it's achievable, and come back to you without
That's
having
fine.
conditions that might be confusing. and
That's
everything
fine.
else.
no,
And then, I think even with that timing, if you meet next month, we can be on the agenda, hopefully, and then.
What's your advertising deadline for February?
I have to send the advertisement.
Well,
out
actually,
tomorrow.
you actually don't have to advertise, never mind.
But the filing deadline for February has already passed.
Yeah, but they don't have to file anything because we're just
Oh, yeah.
continuing
Just
without a,
continuing.
we're continuing to
That'd be
date
great.
certain, so.
And then we
Yeah.
can
I'm
set up-
sorry, I had a brain
No, no, that's
cramp.
fine, then we go to
Yeah.
zoning after, that would be
Yeah,
terrific.
so-
Well, let's be clear what we're asking for too, as well, so yeah.
25 and a half minute height, finished height?
So it sounds like
No.
you're looking to go down slightly.
a foot anyways,
Yeah.
at least.
I mean, maintaining the aesthetics of the neighborhood
But,
because of the historic nature of the
Right.
neighborhood, it's important.
yeah.
And try and maintain the Gambrel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
And I would suggest, our deadline for the next meeting, it's, the packages are put together the week before, so they usually come out to us probably on a Thursday or Friday, the week prior. And we meet on the third Wednesday. So I can find a calendar somewhere buried.
Got it.
It's the 15th, February.
Yeah,
What?
15th.
February 15th is the next meeting.
Fabulous. Oh, so February 1st is a Wednesday. So it's a super short turnaround.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah, that's right. As long as it works for you folks.
Well, I know they're anxious, so we'll, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your build timeline looking like?
We'll make it a priority.
It's so up in the air right now.
Yeah, we're just trying to make sure we get through and
Sure,
Right.
do this build the right way for everybody.
sure, we appreciate that. There are no other questions or comments from the board or the audience. We can the chair would entertain a motion to continue the public hearing on 2023-01 to February 15th, no earlier than 6 PM.
So moved.
Second.
It's been made by Bob, seconded by Lynn. All those in favor of continuing?
Aye.
Is that all around? That is a 5-0. So we are continued till February 15th. If you have questions until then, please feel free. All right.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stella did an excellent job.
It's not done yet.
So far.
Good to see you again.
She's done an excellent job so far, I will say.
Oh, I just realized there's a dog there.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
I spotted her when I came in.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
I didn't realize it till you said.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is HH 2023-02. It's Coastline Construction. Owner has filed a notice of intent. Project proposes a partial demolition to construct an addition. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessors, assessing and state records, and is located at 466 Route 28, Unit 1, Map 13, Parcel F8. Welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm Joe Young for the record. I know I was standing back there letting Jack and Jamie do this, the last job. This one's pretty straightforward. We're looking to restore this. It's not, we need to add some more space for our personal office. This is gonna be Coastline's main office.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember, I redid the house on 611 Route 28.
I was gonna say right across
And
from almost.
basically, we're looking to do similar as far as finishes, gonna be red cedar roof, clapboard, everything like that. We're looking to match detail, you're gonna have crown on the rakes, crown on the soffits, the fascia, all that stuff. And what we're looking to do is square the back of the building up. We will have to take off the roof on the first floor just to gain height for the second floor. I have already spoke to the condo, because this is a condo, and the board, and that's why it's taken so long to get to you guys. We purchased this 2 Novembers ago, and just wanted to make sure the board was happy with everything that we were looking to do as well.
So this is right, it's right on the corner of Miles
Mr.
and
Robert, or
Mr.
Bob,
Mr. Cole.
Yeah.
Bob
Mr.
Kroll's
Kroll.
office. Yep,
Bill.
that's what I thought.
Well, the fact that he's not here is a good sign.
Yeah.
For you.
I had to bribe him. I shouldn't say that.
Okay. So, questions from the board. Bob?
Yeah, my only objection is that you've removed the shutters. And I
Never
think
done.
the shutters need to be there, particularly since every other building in the complex still has their shutters.
So you want us to put shutters back up?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
On the 3 elevations anyways.
Yep.
The back, I'm not concerned
Okay.
about. That, I think that's my only concern.
I just don't like that look, but we'll do it.
Bob, I'm just looking on the left side of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Are you just talking
The first level.
just the first level? You don't care about the second
Well,
on
what
the,
is happening on the second there, on that side? Oh, it's being lifted up too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because it's a full-size window, so it should be there,
as opposed to this?
correct, because that's gonna be
Because
full-size
existing doesn't have
windows.
one. I just want to be clear when we're,
On the
What we're
second
talking
floor, are
about.
you moving those windows in to get them off the rakes?
Yes, correct.
So the shutter's gonna work? So Bob, that may not work only because,
To get light up in there and
yeah, they're moving those windows in to get them off the rakes. So the space in between is not what is,
it's narrower than what it
Yeah.
was.
just an observation, just to-
Are you talking about just the front, or the sides, or what?
this-
Which elevation
No,
should I
no,
look
this,
at?
these right here.
That's the front?
If you look at this picture here,
Yeah.
Yep.
flip your page, this is existing.
Right,
And then if you look at this new front, these windows are coming in.
Yeah, the front.
So they drop off the rake board, so it's gonna make it hard to make the shutters
oh,
work.
so
They're narrow,
Yeah.
it's a narrower
This is,
Narrow
how
gap
did
in
they get
between.
narrower?
because they're moving.
Right now, they're
They're inside the
they're
ring.
inside the
yeah,
ring.
they're inside the rakes.
We're
Right.
gonna repair that and bring on.
But you're making the roof a little taller, aren't you?
Not necessarily going taller at all. We just have
Continue
to
that
continue
main-
that pitch, and we're just dormering out.
Yeah,
The dormer changes, but the main roof line is the same.
If you looked at east right elevation existing, it's 23.4 to the roof line.
Yeah,
And then you look at north rear elevation proposal, that's still, west left elevation is 23.4 to that roof line.
so
So nothing's changing on the roof line.
Yeah.
We're just going back to that height. It's just all these dormers with the framing that they had back then isn't gonna work for us to do it, so it's easier for us to cut that whole roof off
right,
and start
and,
over.
right.
so dropping the chimney, and you're probably doing a new structural ridge and then 2 dormers out,
Correct.
so you're losing a chimney too.
No chimney?
I don't think, I'm not sure if the chimney was original.
Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't,
You know, we are squaring the
old.
back off of this.
yep,
which, you know, again, the condo approved that. I gotta go through, do the master deed, all that stuff, because we're taking common land. You know, so this is what we need to be able to operate as far as our business and stuff like that. And, you know, this building needs a facelift. It's been like this.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking to keep the brick facade around the perimeter for the foundation.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Is there a detail that could go above the windows that would take the place of a shutter in your eye, or no?
Like a pediment or something?
Well, I put an arched window on the one on my house, because that's normal at that time period. You really just don't have that, like, that's a third floor I have over there. So
I
you really
understand
don't
that.
have that to be able to put that there, which, I mean, if we were able to, that would be great. I think that's the look it needs. There's just not enough room to
Gotcha.
sustain the height, same height. So,
You saying above the door, Mary?
on the front elevation, just you have that open space between the windows and the ridge. It feels like something should be there, but, you know, you typically like to see the window, like an arched window, it's just, that's not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit all the other windows.
Yeah.
Or a little circular window. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a vent there now.
So if that stays, that will be there, Mary.
I'm sorry?
There is a vent on the existing building on the front.
No, that's
Just below the peak.
That's the rear.
No, that's the rear.
Oh, that's the rear?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
for the bathroom. The bathroom vent.
Wait a minute, where's that?
Isn't that the 28th side?
Is it south elevation?
South front elevation existing is the faces Route 28.
Right.
Did I omit
Looking
it
at
from-
that picture,
is it omitted on
there's like a vent in the front.
Is it omitted
No.
from?
Nope.
You're
That's
talking
the
about the north, that's the rear.
Right
That's the
here.
north.
This is face 28, this one faces the.
She's referring to the gable vents, I believe.
This isn't the front here?
That's the
Correct.
faces 28.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a little vent up at
There's
the
a vent
top.
there.
There is a vent in the
Sorry.
original
Oh, in
picture.
the
It's not this.
I see what you're.
Wait a minute.
But you're getting rid of all the gable vents because you're doing closed cell insulation, you're
Correct,
not
the
gonna
spray
need.
foam.
All right.
So those vents will disappear based on that
I was just saying
insulation.
if Mary wanted something, there was something there.
I mean, we
No,
could always
I'm-
do a faux one if you really wanted it, it's just, doesn't fit with what we're looking at.
No,
that
I
would
was-
have been an afterthought.
I was asking for Bob with respect to losing the,
I'm,
not being able to have a shutter on the upstairs.
I'm still,
Because
don't
the windows
understand
The
why
windows
it
are
would
coming
ch-
in.
So you
But why?
well, that's what that's what they're doing. Here.
So Brendan's gonna explain.
So they're actually, if you go back to
And it's, yeah, I can see it's over the rake a bit,
yeah.
but there's plenty of room, even if the windows go in a little bit. There's a lot of white space
Yeah.
there.
Do you think the shutters will fit?
I think they will.
If you guys want me to put them, we will put them, but
Yeah.
I don't like shutters. But that's just my opinion, that's why I didn't put them on my house at 611 Route 28.
What if we did them just on the south elevation and the west elevation?
Well, my original question was, based on you bringing those windows in, will shutters fit? So that was my original question. I thought we heard no.
Shutters could possibly fit.
Could you get that?
You know, they're
Could
gonna be
you check?
small. They're gonna be small shutters in between those two.
I hear what you're saying, Bob, but they're
It is a look, it is the look on those,
Buildings.
it does. It
Buildings.
just looks different.
It
Are you
doesn't-
doing beefier rakes? That must be the reason, right?
We are, yeah.
Oh, so that's what they're
We're
doing.
bringing this up with the, like, so, again, if you guys saw my house at 611, like, there's a lot of trim on that building, because that's how it should be, that whole build out and everything. That's what we're looking to do here. You're gonna have a lot of build out.
So Bob, what you can't see the existing. If you go to the existing front elevation,
Yep.
they have like a 4 to 5 piece detail there, going up the rake boards. So, and they just brought it over. But if you look here, it doesn't. Maybe it is there. I can't see in the picture. I mean, I guess back to my original question. If the shutters can fit, we would like the shutters. I think that's what we're trying to say.
I want to see this, yeah.
One thing we would like to do is black windows. The windows there now are white, but we'd like to make it. This has to represent coastline like what we do as a.
Yeah.
And I think black windows looks great on the white houses.
Mm-hmm. You do Andersons?
Andersons or Pellas, the ones I did, we had a house with Pella, but Andersons look great, 400s.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a stupid question. Can you check and see if shutters would fit and what the scale of them would be so that, because it may be that the shutters would have to be so small that you might not like the look of them as
No,
well.
I agree. I just can't believe you're gonna move in the windows so much that the shutters wouldn't work. I don't understand what I'm
sure
seeing.
I mean, honestly, I'm sure we could make them work. You're probably looking 10 to 12 inches for the shutters. They can always go on the trim and cover the trim. I just don't like it. The trim's what makes everything look good. And you cover it.
I'm not seeing, I mean, the trim doesn't look anything special.
You putting a crown
It's
pediment
gonna
top?
have, yeah, it's gonna have a pediment and everything on all
Yeah.
the windows.
He's doing more trim than what is there existing is what.
I
is
just have to
coming
see on the
in.
drawings, that's all, that's why we're struggling.
On the front door, on the drawing, well, on the pictures of the front door, you've got 5 panes on either side of the door coming down, but in the drawing, on the proposed change, that's not there. Are you changing that?
I mean, we can either do a full light or we could do a 5 light. You know, if that's what you guys want, then we can do that.
I'm not sure if they're original anyways.
Okay.
They look like they're,
Probably
I
not.
can't tell, so I,
We did, we took the lights out to get more light, keep it clean.
And this stays as office space, am I correct?
This is our office space.
Yeah, it's your office space, yeah.
Any questions from you folks in the audience? You're here for another application? That's good.
So they're for our project.
Sorry, guys.
You guys too?
What's the pleasure of the board? Do we have more questions? Would you like to see? I'm asking. We're still in
You're
public
asking-
hearing.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Julie, any questions?
I really don't.
No more questions.
Bob, what's,
I mean, at this point, I would not vote for it without a continuance or seeing what it might look like or something that, to me, it just looks very plain going forward. And certainly, you know, out of step with the other buildings around.
But then do you have issues with the black windows?
No,
You don't?
no.
so,
Can we get on next month and get the
Oh.
shutters on the plan? or we-
So, I just want to get this clear. You got a red cedar roof, white trim, black windows. What color would you like to see the shutters?
Oh, I don't have a preference on that. They're all different in that complex. Probably black.
Okay.
It's tough with the black window. That's what you're saying.
Well, the black windows, what pops.
So what Anderson does, I recently did it on my house, you could do just the sash black.
Yep.
So they'll actually do, it's a two-step process, might be a little more money, of course. But everything else is white, and you just get the black sash rather than the chunkiness of the outside sill and the extra border.
Yep.
So just something to think about. It looks pretty sharp, especially on an older house, if you're looking for the older look. It came up pretty nice, so it's something to think about. And that might give you that extra space to put shutters. You won't have this big, if you want to do black shutters, you have this one black.
Right. Your black would be actually.
Yeah, it'd be too much.
You would be moving those onto the trim.
Yeah, correct. So you have this little white strip in between the two black, but just something to think about, you know.
And I would say a different color wouldn't,
A different color.
you know, a
wouldn't matter,
different
yeah.
color wouldn't matter either, like a, you know, a cranberry color, I think would blend in well with your, might actually set off your black windows. You may not like it, but, you
Or an
know,
evergreen.
Yeah, I think all the buildings, even across the street, have shutters. Lincoln Village,
yeah.
all that area has. It's really, as you come into Harwichport, it's really the first
Yeah.
thing you see past all the commercial businesses. So,
So could you check on windows and shutters and come back next meeting? Sorry.
Yep.
or if we just gorgeous.
You're already gonna
we
be
just do
here.
You know, because then we can,
We can't
because,
see it, yeah.
because you can at least see it and then see.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're gonna be too small or too cramped, or, you know,
Right.
you're not gonna have,
I mean, I don't
you
wanna
can't
force-
get a 10-inch shutter to fit,
I don't
you
wanna
know.
force- Obviously, we're just trying to get in there as soon as possible.
Understood.
That's all. And if, you know, if it's the shutters that are the only thing that's holding up, then I can get you guys.
It's about
this
as,
up.
it's about
But
as,
Just pushing out a whole nother month means that I'm not looking to start this in the summer when it's crazy. That's a whole nother 6 months before we even start work, so it's a whole nother year that we're not gonna be in that new space, which is, that's the tough part about it. So,
you know, I don't think we're off by much as far as, you know, the 15th is gonna be here before you know it.
I know, but.
It's a
I'm
shorter
just saying, I'm
turnaround
not
time. I
looking to
understand.
Have work being done in Memorial Day
Right.
weekend.
All right.
That's just not the right thing to do with all the condo
Understood.
association and everything like that. The goal is to have it done by then, and that's not gonna give me enough time to get that all closed in by then. That's all.
You'd rather be weather tight, shingles and this.
Yeah, so all the work's indoors and the outside's cleaned up, basically.
I mean, it's a big project. It's you know, taking that roof off and doors and it's not a small project. Even the application was, it seems small, but it's a big project.
Yeah.
So what's the pleasure of the board? Do you want to approve it with shutters and colors, and
No,
you're looking at,
I'm looking to,
I'm asking, I'm just,
You want to see it, Bob?
yeah.
Yeah.
it's what we generally ask of everyone, so, you know, we're not really stepping outside.
Right.
You know, I can promise you that if we've, you know, if we see what we like, we shouldn't, I think we've explained what people are looking for, so we should be able to make a decision in the next meeting. That being said, the chair would entertain a motion to continue.
I move to continue till next meeting,
Second.
It has to be to a date certain, which would be February
February
15th,
15th.
no earlier than 6 PM.
Yes.
Okay. There's been a motion made by Lynn, seconded by Bob, to continue to February 15th. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Hearing none, opposition, motion
Thank you,
carries.
Guys,
Thank you. Now she's done a very good job, twice.
That's amazing.
I'd be very happy with that. Mine doesn't look like that anymore. Mine's more gray than black. All right, the next matter on our agenda is HH 2023, excuse me, -03. Marshall Whitehead, owner, through their agents, ERT Architects, filed a notice of intent. The project proposes a partial demolition to construct an addition. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessing records and is located at 10 Herndon Way, map 75, parcel N4. If you could sign the sign-in sheet for us and perfect, and state your name for the record, please.
Marshall Whitehead.
Welcome, thank you for joining us. So if you could just walk us briefly through your application, please?
Well, the house, as the record states, is the left-hand of the house. The front door is on the south side, it used to be facing Queen Anne Road. We are suggesting that we take the, from the kitchen over, and demolish that. It is not in good repair. Two of the areas are unlivable and have been since we purchased the house in 2015. We understand, I believe you got the engineering report. And the engineer has indicated that the areas that we're looking to take off the end of the house. We are looking to increase the kitchen. And then we want to put in den, and then we want to put in a garage.
Okay.
It would be in the driveway, basically.
The poor condition of these two areas, they basically have dirt floors. So there's no foundation, but we put wood on top of the dirt to kind of keep it so that at least it's a little bit easier. But it is also full of holes, and so we do get wild animals into our home, and they die in the wall.
Yeah.
And they smell.
Yes,
they do.
It's awful.
Pets.
There is the far shed, we call them attached sheds, has just a single pole that is currently holding the roof up.
Yeah.
Then you have the first shed, which is right off the kitchen. That holds all of our mechanicals, so it has the furnace, that's pretty much, and a hot water tank. That's pretty much it. The far shed, the one with the pole, that has the oil tank. And it used to be a sort of workshop with their shelving in there and stuff. I did bring additional pictures because I noticed that the ones that you guys received are mainly from the outside and not the inside. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. You're welcome to take a peek.
Existing.
So we originally bought the house, we bought it as a summer home, and it's been a summer home for the last 6 years, and then just this year we moved in full-time. So, yeah, thank you.
Yes, welcome.
So now we need more room, you know, we have to throw our stuff with us, and we have two storage units, and not enough room for them.
It is a theme we hear quite often.
Yes.
The storage units are hard to come by.
Yeah,
Very.
We won't talk about storage. I just finally moved furniture down from, we won't talk about how long
I was
ago.
gonna say, how long was that there?
We're not talking about it. I finally pulled the trigger, so I can sympathize with you in that respect.
God, it really is.
So, Brendan, why don't I give you the shot to go first this time? 'Cause-
Boy, they really paid it.
Sure.
Before you start though, I gotta point
Yes.
out, when the architect came with his original plan, I know you have an interest in chimneys, and one of the chimneys was going to be taken down. And we like that look, because we painted them white with the
Right.
black thing on top.
Yeah.
So we'd like to have the cupola on top. You kind of replace the.
But you're keeping the original chimney?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, on the original
And that's a
house, yeah.
double fireplace, by the way.
Yeah.
Is the main part of
That's
the
the
house.
original. house,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double fireplace, front and back.
Yeah.
Front and back and a scullery staircase.
Oh, nice.
That
Oh,
goes
cool.
up in between fireplaces.
only
It's a
had it.
secret staircase.
Oh, yeah.
I had a double.
Site visit. Exactly.
And it does have a Cape Cod cellar, so that's, it's, a little
The downside, right? That's the sheds.
yes, yes.
That's the reason for the sheds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like the fact that you're keeping the original structure. I can understand the additions, why you're knocking them down. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, so.
Bob?
I also noticed you're keeping the shutters on the front. You know, I thought that might have been what triggered my thing on the other way. Seeing this, was like, this is nice. Yeah, no,
A really nice compliment, because one of the neighbors came up after we moved in, replaced the roof, and we repainted the house, and
yeah,
did the shutters black, because
Yeah.
they were yellow, and painted the doors red. He said, thanks for bringing her back.
yeah, yeah.
That's
It's
nice.
really nice when you feel affirmed that
Yeah.
you're maintaining.
It is.
And just for the point of interest, our next door
Both
neighbor
of these are gone.
lived in our house.
Wow.
With her folks, she grew up in the house, so.
Oh, wow.
She knows a lot about the house, which is great, so she's
Yeah.
able to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And believe me, we went for her approval before we did anything.
Right.
Because it's our house, you know.
Right,
it's all of our
exactly.
house.
Her father planted a tree in the front. and,
Ah.
She called us because we were there this summer, and she said, I think our tree is dying.
Oh,
Because we didn't want to, we never wanted to cut it down because
Right.
it was her dad's tree.
Sure.
It's
Someone
hard.
gave us
Trees.
She
permission.
grew up on the mustard tree.
Oh, yeah.
We lost ours too.
Yeah.
The mo-
Disease.
Yeah, I think that's fungus stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's, and I've looked, because we lost the one in the,
Did you?
which your tree may have come from the tree we planted in the cemetery right across. That was a huge, I mean, it was this big around, and it finally just died because of the fungus, that's passed around. Almost all the mimosas are gone now. And I tried to find
They
one.
So
plant
sad.
themselves everywhere, that's for sure.
They do,
Yeah, I have
yeah,
some in my yard.
There's one in my neighborhood. that-
and still
The
going.
seed pods are, they get everywhere.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
babies. You come over to my yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bring them over to my house, I've tried it, and they just die after the first year because the fungus stays there.
You can't plant them in the same spot either. 'Cause
Yeah.
The soil's damaged.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard.
yeah. But, yeah.
You get this leaf cards.
I had to cut down holly trees that we planted, and that was heartbreaking in itself, but it is, you know. Bob, do you have
No,
any other comments, questions,
I'm-
colors? Do you
is
like the
great.
shutters?
it's great.
Fabulous.
It's not-
Very pleased.
It's not as tall as the
No.
existing.
No, it's fine.
I have a question though, just in more of an opinion, because this portion, the old portion of the house is,
Clapboard.
the clapboard,
Yeah,
and this is gonna be more of a shingle.
shingle look.
What do you think about putting shingles all the way across? Do you think that's
It,
a
it,
good look? or-
that- yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem. A lot of houses were just shingles all around, so if you want to change it, that doesn't bother me.
Mine was clapboard and is now shingled, and I actually like the shingle better.
You like the
And I
shingle
don't have I don't have a 100-year-old house,
Yeah.
No,
I have a
that's,
1960s Cape, so, you know, just,
I think whatever your
Different.
pleasure is,
Yeah.
as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Okay.
they're both,
I'm looking for an opinion, because I don't know.
Which to go, yeah.
Go back and forth.
Yeah.
Lynn, any questions, comments? Julie?
I think it's a nice addition. It
Yeah.
flows.
All right. Then, I can ask the audience, but there is no audience to ask. You're speaking in favor.
I
Just make
noticed
sure.
that her name was
Here we go.
misspelled, just for the record. It's Whitehead and it's together.
Okay.
Yeah, on the applications, well,
On the,
on the agenda.
on the
yeah.
agenda, it was.
It
there
is
was a
on our,
typo. It is on the potential decision.
I don't know.
So, if there are no further questions, is the board ready to close the public hearing?
I move we close the public hearing.
So Bob's made a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Bob and Julie made a motion and a second to close the public hearing, all in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. And then I would ask, is there someone that would like to walk through a potential decision? And I will happily write it down as we go.
Motion to approve HH 2023-03, filing date December 16th, 2022. Hearing date January 18th, 2023. 10 Huron Way, map 75, parcel N4. Owners Marsha Whitehead, trustee et al. Recording information BK 29532, page 177. Year built 1840. Demolition proposed is partial. And brief description of the work is a partial demolition to structure and addition.
Okay, so I have one
That
that
language
is,
is correct.
I have one that is, you comfortable with the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
it's written?
it's fine,
Okay.
just the way it was, and the addition.
Okay,
Historical significance, it is listed in the town property inventory. Proposed demolition would not destroy or substantially diminish the historic value. Determination, no demolition delay period imposed. Conditions, there are none.
All right, so the motion has been made. Is there a second? Motion's been made by Brendan, seconded by Julie. I'm so sorry. All those in favor of approval?
Aye.
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 Any in
That was one of
opposition?
my neighbors calling.
Yeah, it was an alarm. It was an alarm on my cell phone. I'm sorry.
We all gave their approval.
So just to confirm, it was yays all around. Yes.
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 Okay.
Unanimous.
Then hearing none in opposition, motion carries 5-0. I will sign this as I'm sitting here.
Does the decision need to be unanimous?
Just majority.
It's a majority.
4.
It is, we are a permitting board, so its majority is our quorum, so our quorum is 4, so you would have needed 4 and you got 5. 18th today, correct? And I put 2023. I'm gonna pass that right over to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you are good?
Checks for 2022.
That will be brought to the building department in the morning, and you should be ready to go.
Wonderful, thank you so
All
much.
right?
Oh, no, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
You have a good evening.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I'm going to take 30 seconds to turn off the alarm on my phone before it goes off again. Because it will go off every 5 minutes. Okay, so the next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes. We have minutes for December 21st, 2022.
Yep.
Does anybody have any comments or questions or proposed changes? All right, then Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of December 21st, 2022.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Bob,
Second.
seconded by Brendan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none in opposition, motion carries 5-0.
Are we behind still on minutes?
I think we are still behind on minutes, which,
They're not posted. I spoke with Megan
Okay.
about it. She is assigning somebody to do the minutes for the meetings
okay,
that were conducted before.
okay.
Okay, good
Great.
enough. Just wanted to make sure.
Great, thank you. Then, the next item, we have really no new business and no old business. We have a letter from the Historic Commission. I had submitted the application for a potential grant, and we were not one of the lucky few chosen. They did say that they had 29 applications, so I will keep my eyes open and try to, I think we'll bring it back the next time we see that they have funds available.
Short notice. Too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick turnaround. And then I guess the next item on our agenda was continued from the last meeting. It was the Safe Routes to School program. I think we were missing the second page on that.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything the board would like to discuss with respect to the letter and what is being proposed and being done? I think we were missing that whole. Yeah, they're looking to, so just for the record, the part that was missing is they are looking to increase bicycle safety and accessibility along the roadways, looking for opportunities for improving bicycle safety and accessibility include replacing the existing sidewalk network on the east side of South Street with an 8-foot wide grade separated bituminous shared use path The formalization of the bicycle facilities will provide increased bicycle safety for students, as well as the general public traveling along South Street. Improving curbing on the roadways, both granite curb and Cape Cod bituminous berm will be installed along the locations of the sidewalk reconstruction and the proposed shared use path within the study limits, replacing all existing damaged curbing and berm. They're looking to install RRFB on Main Street and Sisson Road, so 2 rectangular rapid flashing beacons are proposed on Main Street. The first RRFB is proposed slightly east of the intersection of Main Street and Uncle Harry's Road, and the other installed slightly west of the intersection of Main Street and Island Pond Road. The RRFB on Sisson Road is proposed at the southern crossing at the intersection of Sisson and parallel streets. Purpose of the RFBs is to enhance pedestrian safety. Additionally, the sight lines at the intersection of Sisson Road and Parallel Street are limited due to the horizontal curvature of the roadway. Therefore, the installation of the RFB will increase driver awareness of the pedestrian crossings. Improving the striping on South Street and Main Street and Sisson. Striping along the study roadways is faded and not compliant with the current MUTCD standards. Faded crosswalk markings and stop bars will be improved to meet MassDOT town standards. Missing crosswalks and stop lines will be striped accordingly. Edge lines on Main Street and Sisson Road along the side of the roadway is where the construction is being performed are to be restriped, leaving a 1 foot wide shoulder. Improving signage along project roadways. Several signs have been identified not to be in conformance with MUTCD regarding retro-reflectivity and mounting height. Replacing the signs so that they are retro-reflective and mounted at the required height will improve driver awareness and pedestrian safety and accessibility. In addition, the existing mid-block crossing located approximately 130 feet south of the intersection of Sisson Road and Parallel Street does not have adequate pedestrian crossage signage. This crossing is proposed to be removed and relocated further north, and an RRFB installed as discussed above. So I think that's the main part of what they're discussing. Thoughts from the board about those items and the other items in the letter?
Yeah.
Yes, Bob?
The RRFB, are those actuated lights that you press the button and it starts blinking, or does it blink all the time? And one is in the historic district.
Correct, and that was my concern as well. What I think they are,
That's Sisson and Parallel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they are actually, and I could be wrong, I guess we should ask Public Works for some clarification and DOT for some clarification. I think they're, the ones that are at, heading down to Witchmere Harbor and Freeman Street, they have red dots all around them and flash.
The electric stop.
No, but those
lights,
are stop
the electric
signs,
stop
though.
signs.
No, I think these are crosswalk lights.
You could be right,
No.
I don't know.
Two
So we're talking,
rectangular, rapid flashing beacons.
unless they're crossing lights like the bicycle.
Well, that's what I was
Like at the bicycle
thinking.
path, is that what you're thinking?
Those
Yeah.
are triggered by an eye.
Or a button, the newer
Not
ones.
like right there, but you're right.
It seems like there
Beacons.
is a flashing,
2 rectangular rapid flashing beacons.
Yeah.
Maybe, one in
So, okay, yes, I was,
Dennis,
yeah, the
Gage's
one,
Way.
the one on,
Gage's Way.
yeah, heading towards the transfer station.
Yes.
so it's pedestrians
Yeah.
while crossing.
Let me
Yeah,
just
so
see.
you guys are
This-
right, I had it in my head, I
I
was
mean,
thinking of the stop sign, but
Is
you're
that what we're
right.
thinking? The one on the left? The 2 lights back and forth?
No, I would think it's probably more like Lynn suggested, the one that's on
Gage's Way.
or Theophilus, is it
Yeah,
Theophilus
Theophilus.
Smith?
Smith.
They're like crosswalk things, but they,
Yeah. But they
And
have
they flash.
2 bars.
And they go back and forth.
Yeah, but this one here, this bar here.
Yeah, that one, that
Yeah.
first one.
So it's this first one.
Trying to see if they show detail of it.
So the one on on Theophilus Smith is much bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's, I would say it's wide,
Yeah,
like where my hands are.
yeah. I would
It's
go with
a
that.
good 3 feet.
But they only flash when you press the button?
No, they flash on a trigger on an eye, like Julie said, so that
Oh,
if,
yeah.
so it's not just the bikes coming up or people walking.
Right.
It can be a leaf, it can be a kid, it can be.
A leaf.
The dog.
No, I'm only
It
joking.
it can be
Hey, Bob, there
a,
you go, if you want to.
it can be a
One
squirrel.
on the left.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
Yeah.
But is that,
I'm not sure that those are beacons, that would be my, a beacon seems,
I think you're gonna have like the person walking with a diamond shaped sign and the rectangle thing, I'm guessing, because if it's for.
I mean, there is really just
crosswalk.
one residential house there.
Unless they mean like the school signs, the crosswalk or the school, as you're approaching a school
Could be.
district. School,
yeah,
but
but
to Bob's
those
point,
are timed.
at least one of them is in the historic district.
Is there anything we can do about that? If it's like required?
Well, no, I don't necessarily mind,
Oh, no,
but I
it's
don't
just
want it blinking all the time. That's what I would object to.
So I think we could put together a request or, some questions. Or I can call, if it's the board's pleasure, I can happily call Erica Klinkhammer, who's the environmental scientist here who wrote this letter, and see if she'd be willing to send us pictures so that we could see what they are and get some details on what's going to be flashing and when.
and how?
So if you folks are okay with that, I'm happy to do that.
Absolutely.
And then we'll see if she can email us some pictures, just, and the
It's
comment is,
showing.
it is in the historic district, so.
You're right, Bob, it can be activated with push buttons or passive pedestrian detection.
Does it say that? No.
That's what it says, I'm reading it from the Federal Highway Administration.
Yeah. I'm trying to find that too on a similar website. How it's
So
actually.
we'll just have,
You know, it's interesting.
.gov.
Yeah, that's right.
So either way.
It's interesting.
It
They,
doesn't constantly trigger, but, flash, yeah.
so this is where it looks like, right? When we're looking at this.
yeah, here's the plan.
Intersection of Sisson and Parallel.
So
It's
right,
gonna be right by the museum.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, it is kind of a scary.
It says proposed detectable warning panel. Oh, no, that's the surface on the thing. Because they're only showing on this diagram, proposed RFFB is on Sisson Road only. The others aren't showing it.
What page are you on?
See, I'm on page, it's like next to the last page
Okay.
of the big thing.
There's definitely two. One, it said was down by Island Pond Road, which.
Yeah, that's down, yeah, that makes sense. But it only's showing the blinking light in front of the Art Center.
Main Street and Sisson. So,
Well, this
so the
is,
first
This-
one would be by Main Street and Uncle Harry's Road.
Yeah, that's
And the other
down.
installed at the intersection of Main Street and Island Pond.
Right, I know, that's,
So those are over by the school, which would make sense that you would have
Yeah.
them over there.
is Parallel and Forest and Sisson.
right.
So crosswalks.
So I see the sidewalks.
So I think there's only three actually being,
Here's the proposed RRFB at Sisson
is there only
Right.
three total?
and Parallel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's one right across from the junior theater
Right.
Yep.
on the corner. And that is,
Sisson and Parallel.
Sisson and Parallel.
yeah, Sisson and Parallel. But on the north side. Guess it'd be north, yeah, north.
Proposed warning detection panel. And it's on the museum side. Proposed, yeah, it's right there on the museum side.
What is?
Where the proposed, it's right here.
Yeah, no, I got these,
Right.
but the museum's over here.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I'm
you're right,
saying,
you're right,
museum
you're
side.
right. It's over by the old rec center.
I would just like to see.
It's actually near the spare lot, right, where they hold the,
Yeah, the.
farmer's market, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's right there at that.
So would you like to see,
I
what would you
think we
like me
just-
to ask?
Just
pictures?
to ask for a picture of the unit, since it's an historic district.
Okay,
A picture unit and how it's actuated.
okay.
Perfect.
So just help me out though, are they at every crosswalk? Or
No, they're not.
No,
They're
there are only
not.
a few.
Three.
There's only 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Just one right there.
it's just right there, yeah. Cool.
It
Yep.
could be worse if you think about it.
Yeah, it could be.
There could have been a lot more than
Almost
than
every
just 3,
crossing.
so.
Right. It's probably,
So-
they probably have it there because you're going to the
So
junior theater.
I will take this and I will, I will,
Oh, they started construction on the museum this week.
So,
so let's see, what else do we have? Where is my agenda? Is that the end of my agenda? Thank you. Yes, so nothing else besides just asking them for pictures and how it works,
right.
what it looks like. So we'll do that. Would you like to give the board an update on CPC?
Oh, gosh. Only that they did review the projects again, and I think the vote wasn't taken, but there was a general feeling to proceed with the whole project, but we won't know that till they actually vote.
museum.
For the museum. Won't know that till February. And also, there was, I think, a lot of encouragement that on the revolutionary thing is that they do get money to, from various organizations to offset the cost.
Yeah,
So
Seek-
that there
seek
was
money
a
from
lot
other
of-
places.
Yeah, and it was indicated that there's a good chance of substantial funding, which would help
Yes,
make that pass.
an organization that has a lot of money that is dying
Yes,
out. Peg.
yes, yeah. A couple of them, actually.
And there is also, there was some support for.
Oh, and the fire,
For the fire,
absolutely,
for the old fire station on Bank Street.
yeah.
So, we, again, don't have numbers yet, but we'll anticipate that we will start voting on the 9th of February, which is our next meeting. So, I think that's that. Does anybody have anything they want on the next agenda that we haven't talked about in a while or want to talk about? I will just say if you could put an update on the DOT letter, because I will get back to everybody by then, so.
So continue that to the next
Mhm.
meeting.
And those 2 hearings will go back on the agenda. They don't have to be re-advertised because they were open. We continued them to a date and time certain. So they don't have to be advertised, they just have to be agenda.
Okay.
And I
Did
think
we,
that's about it. Yeah?
did we ever find out what happened to the historic district signs for the historic?
I was gonna mention that,
No.
so I've been kind of tracking where they are,
Okay.
and there's one right across the street from my house.
Right.
It's not there.
Oh, it's
So
on?
I never thought to check that one because I was looking at all the others because I know that one's there. But I think it came down in the tornado. That
Oh.
tree that's right next to it. So I called the highway department to find out where the sign is. No one knows where it is. So I could still tinker with that. But do you want me to like bring my map and show where they all
I
are?
was just curious
Yeah.
because you don't see them anymore.
I've seen
Yeah.
the one on Sisson Road, and that's it.
Right,
Yeah, the one because when you come in right down from exit 10,
Right.
when you roll in, it's right there across the street from my house. And it's just not there anymore.
Yeah, the one
And
that
they're
used to
not
be
on-
on 39,
That's gone.
but that's been gone only within the last few months.
Yeah, so I don't know what's happening.
Somebody
Okay, so we
probably
can put that in as a,
I'll try, I have like most of the map done. I'll bring
Okay.
it, can we put on the agenda for next week, next
Yeah,
time?
yep.
Yeah, and I can present that.
all right. Anything else anyone can think of? Nothing? Are we ready to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Motion's been made by Lynn, seconded by Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. It is unanimous. Thanks, Julie.